The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash, a roundtable of Cowboys insiders dropping wisdom and offering sizzling takes on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys. Now, your host, Newy Scruggs.
All right, it's Media Mash. Let's ride. Oh, boy. We're about to have some fun today with Clarence Hill of All City Dallas.
All City Dallas.
All City Dallas. I'm learning to get it.
No A at the end. I'm just telling you that, man.
DLLS. That's what he's trying to say. That's the unique branding.
I try to get some more
help.
insight, man.
Can you let him run quarterback this thing?
I'm sorry, man.
Jean-Jacques Taylor, the
I was
author,
going to say, you
is
finna
here.
skip because Ed is here? We don't get down like that now. Let's not start it like that.
I feel like I'm Tad. I got to sit around here, Tad Carper. I got to make sure I get everybody down by their tenure, okay?
Okay.
And joining us now is Maiden Voyage.
Did you forget my name?
Jean-Jacques Taylor, JJT, the author.
Okay, you didn't say all that.
I'm sorry.
Because you cut him off, actually.
This is true. I was trying to
This
get
is my first partner on the Cowboys.
This is a scripted show, huh?
It's a free-for-all up in here. The Hall of Famer joins us for his maiden voyage. He is Ed Werder. For years, you've seen him on ESPN. Before that, for these youngsters out there, you saw him on CNN SI when it was /SI.
With Nick Charles.
Yes, Nick Charles.
And before that?
And before that, the Dallas Morning News.
And before that?
out
The
there.
National.
Wait. Then
Okay.
Before that, Ed was out there getting, when Jerry said 500 coaches could have coached the team. Ed out here getting Jimmy fired.
And before that? And before that?
The National.
And before that?
And
get
Dallas
to
Times Herald, wasn't it?
The Star Telegram.
Nope.
Before
Before Star Telegram.
Really?
And before that,
The Star T.
the Caveman Times.
Here we go.
He called you the caveman time.
So, Ed, I just want to let you know, Clarence will interrupt you.
I apologize.
Do you think I haven't talked to these guys before?
Apologize ahead
Not
of time.
here. Not here. Okay. Not
I
here.
already see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah. We just don't curse. Yes. So, welcome to your main
Observational reporting here. I see people get interrupted.
voyage. Yes. Saad Youssef was run off by Clarence and
He's
tortured,
coming back.
terrorized.
That's not you. It was Jock who did it that
So
day.
It was an accident.
I did a speech today for a government office, and Ed, your name came up.
In what way?
I was talking about the
Tax
Cowboys.
returns?
I was talking about the Cowboys and Terrell Owens.
Oh, God.
You hurt my team, Ed. Ed, you hurt my team. You hurt my team.
When he wouldn't
Ed.
answer the questions we had that time.
This guy asked me in
Time.
Minnesota like 3 years ago, so long after the Terrell Owens story, says to me, I always wondered, so which one of you guys was telling the truth? And I said, well, I'm still here and he's not. So what do you think?
You hurt my team, Ed. You hurt my team real bad.
So Ed Werder's here, and Ed, another line I use all the time, and I credit to you, is whenever I see something with Deion saying, bleed now? Bleed now, boss? Bleed now?
Oh,
And that was
in Fort Worth.
That was in
last
Fort
year.
Worth.
Do you believe?
We were already there in Fort Worth. and
Yes, Fort Worth.
How we believe it now?
That's always thinking Ed. I always thinking Ed. Believe now. And
You know, that was crazy because TCU came up, they made the run to the championship game and they were hot and
Then they
Prime
weren't.
won and
game
you believe
one.
with us now and we just thought, ooh, they got something special.
They did.
And Ed was right there.
They did?
So
They did?
It don't look special right now.
It wasn't special then?
It's special for a day.
Okay.
How's that book going?
It's special for 3 weeks. Hey, the book dropped at the proper time.
there's no sequel.
Won't be no rematch.
We on to the next one.
He's all wrong for us, baby. He's all wrong for us. He's working on a new book, and it's not a sequel. So, all right. Oh, boy, we will get messy here, Ed, by the way. Just so you know, this media match will get messy here. You guys just left the locker room. Cowboys getting ready to take on the Saints. 1-0 Saints who demolished the Carolina Panthers. Cowboys took apart the Cleveland Browns here. So just give me some nuggets you guys got out of the locker room just now.
You know, I talked to both running backs, and there's one thing, actually, I talked to Dalvin Cook and Zeke, but just talking to Zeke and him getting comfortable with the rotation, and actually I talked to Dalvin Cook. When you've been the guy all your life, from high school to college to the pros, it's a step down in the ego. You have to humble yourself to be on the practice squad. and accept your role and where you are. And same way with Zeke, who's been the guy, and you have to accept a lesser role, and you're rotating with Rico Gathers, and here's a guy who's Dowdle, excuse me, Rico Gathers. Going with the Baylor.
Oh my gosh, not the rapper.
Yeah, the rapper.
The tight end is going to be something special, But it's a step down, and here's a guy, normally, when he was great, you got lathered up. Let me get you lathered up. I need 20 carries to get lathered up, and I'm going to be great in the fourth quarter. Ain't no lathering up when you alternate every series. And so you got to make the best of the carries you have. And so he says he's comfortable and he understands to make the best of it, and he's adjusting to the role, and he and Rico Dowdle are good, and even Deuce, and then we'll see what happens, when they bring up Cooks from the practice squad, because Mike McCarthy said something interesting yesterday. He really gushed about Cooks and his feet, and talking to Cooks, he said, I've been working out, I feel good, and so that's like something in the something the Cowboys have down the road in a couple of weeks, but we'll see how this running game goes.
Dalvin's confident that he can get 40 yards in a game rushing?
Yes.
That's the current standard.
It is a standard, and the thing about it is he may have the juice. I mean, there's one thing about 4 yards of carry, but there's no explosive runs, and if, when the way Mike talked about his feet yesterday, maybe he still has some explosiveness left.
That's the way they talked about him with the Ravens when I talked to people with Baltimore when he came here, was he does still have great feet. So we'll see if he can provide some dynamic playmaking from the running back position that they probably currently aren't going to get. Although I think Zeke does have value, and he showed it last week with his ability to find the end zone in short yardage situations, because they were horrible at that last year. They were like 8 for 16 on runs from the 1. He got in from the 3. I mean, come on.
I think of the Arizona loss last year. It's like if you could have had Ezekiel, you win.
What about the Miami game?
I think the Miami game.
Yeah, where Tony Pollard went sideways. Like, how did you not score?
And then Luke.
But you can think about the other game if you want, Newy.
No. You've got the Miami game. You've got Schoonmaker against Philadelphia when he couldn't get in from the 1, and so they were trying, like, okay, we can't run it. Let's try another way here. So that's 3 football games right there where you're like, okay, it hurts you. So game 1 right out of the gate helped them out there.
I think this is an interesting game. You talk about coming out of the locker room, these guys being asked about their dominance in the regular season at home. We have to exclude the most important games, the playoff games, because twice in the last 3 seasons, their season ended at home. And in both of those seasons, it ended against a team that runs the same offensive scheme that New Orleans is bringing in here this year with Clint Kubiak as the play caller coming directly from San Francisco. So they have failed against the scheme when they've seen it with Green Bay's personnel and play calling, and with play calling and personnel the 49ers have. They play the 49ers in a few weeks. This will be a good test for them to get comfortable with it and see how this new defense matches up against it, against an opponent that doesn't have as much experience with it and isn't as talented from a personnel standpoint.
Right. I will worry when Chris McCaffrey and Debo and those guys.
You ain't worried about Alvin Kamara?
In this scheme, that quarterback in this scheme, those receivers, they're not the same as San Francisco. I respect Alvin Kamara's game. And the dirty little secret about those losses to the 49ers in that scheme, that 49ers defense.
Well, you don't think the Saints are going to play defense?
They don't have Fred Warner.
They don't have Fred Warner, but
they're good, but they're not Fred Warner good.
They're a top 10 scoring defense every year.
Yeah, scoring. I'm just saying, I'm playmaking with Bosa and Ed Fred. I mean, I'm not disrespecting them, but I think that going against Carolina, which talking to some players in the locker room, is really hard to judge how good New Orleans, because Carolina's awful. Even
I think
and during the walk-off, Mike McCarthy acknowledged that it's kind of hard to judge them because Carolina's bad. That's a good point.
The reality is, man, the first month of the season is hard to judge anybody because everybody's still figuring out who they are, what they do, how they do it. But that ain't to say that Carolina ain't trash, because they are.
New head coach.
Yeah. 1 for 10 on third down, less than 200 yards total offense.
Bryce Young. Horrible again. Like I think the Saints scored the most points in the NFL with 47 week 1, and their 35-point victory was the biggest margin in the whole league. So they're going to come in here feeling like that they've got something, and I don't think they're as good as Dallas, and Dallas should beat them, and it shouldn't be much of a game. But I think the scheme thing makes it interesting, and I found it interesting that as much as the Cowboys are asked about their dominance at home and how many points they score and how they're built to win in that building, they really can't own it because of what's happened in the postseason.
You are correct. 6.5 point favorite where the Cowboys are here. What nuggets did you have in the locker room today, JJT?
None, because I was out doing interviews.
You was in the locker room?
Nope. I heard Dak talk about picking up the blitz, though.
Good question.
You should have just said that, probably.
Yeah. Well, I try to be honest. You can't ask players to be honest if you're not honest. No, he was talking about the blitz because the Saints had 12 pressures last week. I mean, in terms of pressures from other places outside defensive line. And he talked about picking up the blitz and it being an all offensive unit, not just the running backs, but the receivers and the hot routes. And then he talked about Brandon Cooks because that was one of the best plays of the game, not just because they scored, but when y'all look back at the play, they threw it before the break. Like off his back foot before the break, corner in the end zone. I mean, that's probably how you draw it up when you talk about beating the blitz.
Well, that's a dirty little secret about Dak because so many people.
How many dirty little secrets you got?
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say dirty little secret. I'm sorry. Sometimes you
I know
get
we're paying you back. Yes,
I know.
You know that. You laying in the cut. You got to get your suit on because you got him yesterday. He waiting on you.
It's the thing that gets me sometimes with the talk turned to Dak was people talk about his ability to play the quarterback position. Quarterbacks respect how Dak plays the quarterback position. You talk. Tom Brady was on the air
gushing.
Can you say that again? But really complimenting Dak, on that play because that's those things that Dak does best. He is good against the blitz. He's good against one-on-one on the outside, and you put him in those situations. That's what he does. That's why it drives me crazy when people comment about his ability to play the quarterback position because Aaron Rodgers talked about Dak and how he plays the quarterback position like he plays the quarter, like he likes to play it. And certainly, last week, had Bill Belichick talking about Dak and CD comparing them to Montana and Rice in the West Coast. In the West Coast scheme,
if you want to coach here, you might want to get that on the record.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But those listen, as I say, argue with Bill. This is what he said. If you know more football than Bill, that's fine. But argue with Bill. But I'm saying people don't respect the fact that this guy is really good against the blitz, really good against pressure.
And to your point about the Saints creating pressure in unusual ways and how many guys got pressure off the ball, Alante Taylor, a cornerback, had 3 sacks in the game the other day.
Right.
So you have to beware.
Poor Panthers.
But
hey, right, you're talking about a young quarterback that can't see that.
Because he's 5'8".
5'8" and not very good.
This is who the owner wanted,
So far.
guys. This is who the owner wanted. Chris Beam, our producer, gave me a great little nugget here. It says the least expensive and most expensive tickets in the NFL for Week 2. Least expensive. Chargers at Carolina, you can get it for $25.
I'd go set it to 50.
$25. The most expensive ticket is the Saints Cowboys game, $2,556
for a week.
Because the Saints have a lot of fans nearby, and they're going to want to get into the game if they can.
Oh, no doubt. The Saints fans came here and drove during Katrina. They never left.
Nope.
And again, it's a state that's a bordering state. They like to come to Dallas to party and have a good time. They will take over the stadium. It's funny because it's people always talk about why there's so many fans take over the stadium. Well, there are 100,000 seats. Okay, Jerry can sell 80,000 seats to Cowboy fans. It's still 20,000 for other teams' fans, and if they're winning the game, they're going to take over the stadium.
What's a destination? We all know school we covered. We know it's a destination spot. When you've got friends in different cities.
Have you been to the Superdome?
Yes.
They're fixing it up. They have the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, why don't they tear that thing down a bit? How many Super Bowls they have? That is a trash stadium.
Don't say it like that, man.
What you mean?
It's nostalgic.
Well, last time you been there? Exactly. It's horrible. It's bad.
It wasn't cool when I was there.
The Super Bowl is there.
Yes, the Super Bowl's there.
The Cowboys are doing everything they can to be in that stadium this year. Okay,
as ragged as it may be.
It's funny because there's a big social media thing. I don't know if you I know you keep up with Twitter because you follow me, but there's a big controversy because Lil Wayne is not his halftime show. You know about that Lil Wayne halftime controversy?
Well, if you wrote about it, I know about it.
I didn't write about it. I tweeted about it, but the Lil Wayne halftime controversy because he's a Jay-Z did him wrong because he's from New Orleans and he should be the halftime.
This is the first Super Bowl.
And it's going to be Kendrick Lamar. Well, historically, the Super Bowls don't favor artists from their hometowns. I mean, last time they were there, Beyonce was in New Orleans. So they don't necessarily favor him. Beyonce was not the artist of Houston. But also somebody said on Twitter, y'all mad about this. What do y'all find out the Saints are going to be in the Super Bowl either?
We're going to take our first break on that. Clarence Hill, so many nuggets. So Clarence Hill is here. Ed Werder making his maiden voyage in here. All right, Ed, you're doing so good so far. Get your suit of armor on here because Clarence is going to get rolling. JJT, you already know the drill. He got you yesterday. I see you trying to get a little shot in here today, so we got more time.
That's all love, man.
It is. Is it? I'm Newy Scruggs, the Media Mash, brought to you by nobody. This is DallasCowboys.com radio. And Jerry sell everything. But
Drawback finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Bateman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right, looking down the field, Lamb, victory!
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
I'm Cowboys alumni Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their power-packed smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. With real fruits and organic veggies, because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
Thursday's Media Mash right here from the SWBC podcast studios in Frisco. Cowboys just finished practice in the locker room earlier today. We got Jean-Jacques Taylor, the author here. Ed Werder, the Hall of Famer, making his maiden voyage right here on the Media Mash. Got Clarence Hill, the old dog. Old dog Clarence, 84.
Some funny, some humorous.
Ada Theta, Mega Sci-Fi's finest. Got his 40-year anniversary. I'm Newy Scruggs, helping to make all of this work here. Ed, I wanted to get your thoughts here because it just came out yesterday. Don Van Atter's story on ESPN, your former employer, that Robert Kraft was mad that Jerry got in the Hall of Fame and he's not there.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Jerry has no doubt in his mind he belongs there and should have been there long ago. And here's Robert Kraft going, well, if you're letting him in, geez, I mean, how am I not in with all the rings I have?
Because Jerry made them owners $17 trillion.
He showed him how, I mean, he did the TV contract with Fox, he and Pat Bowlen, obviously, and Pat Bowlen is now in. He also showed owners,
the revenue part.
He showed owners how to make money out of their stadiums, right? And so, and he was a part of the Cowboys winning 3 Super Bowls in 4 years a while ago.
But the money, man, he made all the owners
Right. And where
more money they could count.
Forgive me, was Robert Kraft owning the team back in '89?
No.
That's what I thought. He wasn't there. It was owned by, that's what I thought. He wasn't, obviously he came with Brady and Belichick, but when Jerry came into the league and changed how they did business, Robert Kraft wasn't around.
Correct.
And you have to respect that part of how Jerry changed the TV contracts. They started making money in own markets. They didn't use it as this is just a side gig. This is an important part of making money in our business. So,
but I also get Robert Kraft's point of view. We've won more rings than anybody, and I kept it together with Belichick and Brady, who didn't always love each other. Right. I made it work.
But you wasn't the GM. Jerry was.
Oh. He made it work by not being the GM. Is that what you're saying?
But as all
look, nobody listens to the show, but Jerry might.
Yeah, but as all things, just like Jerry and Jimmy, the Eagles ultimately divided Brady and
Belichick
too. Egos will always cause a downfall.
Ego is the enemy. And I remember our friend Rick Goslin had talked to me before. He said, Jerry also showed him how to do that double dip. When the owners got mad about Jerry with Pepsi, and Jerry's like, well, Pepsi's the official soft drink of Texas Stadium. The league was there with Coke, and I was working in Cleveland, and Art Modell hated Jerry. I thought Jerry was bad, and the whole, hey.
He was the old guard. The old guard.
Coke is the sponsor, and Jerry's like, guess what? I'm going to take this money from Pepsi, and I'm going to take this money from Coke. And Coke, you know what Coke said? That's cool. That's cool. Now Jerry taught everybody how to do it. So now everybody's got a Coke sponsor.
I still remember him in training camp putting on those white Pepsi boots.
But that's why it made no sense, and Jerry was right. I mean, just think of the market in Cleveland. Art Modell was an old sporting goods guy. How much money he could have made in Cleveland on the Browns if he had Jerry's thinking. And we were there this weekend. They loved the Browns. And it took him having to move and go to Baltimore. I mean, and he lost the stadium because he didn't really maximize his market. Jerry taught them how to maximize their local markets.
That was one of the things that Kevin Byrne, the great Kevin Byrne, was in Cleveland at the time when I worked there, and he granted me an interview with Art. We probably went 50 minutes.
Right.
And it was fantastic to listen to Art, but the thing I took from none, he did not like Jerry.
No.
But when you talk about the old guard, here when Art helped create Monday Night Football.
Right.
First Monday Night Football game, Jets at Cleveland, he helped create it. That Art couldn't realize that, guess what? I'm not the smartest guy, the creative guy in the room anymore. Let me make some room for him. Had Art listened to Jerry, he would have got a new stadium. He would have figured out the revenue.
The Browns would have never left Cleveland.
Never would have left Cleveland, and Art would have gotten the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And people forget that one of the things that helped precipitate them leaving, the Indians were talking about moving and playing St. Petersburg against the city. They did not want to lose the Indians, so they built them a brand new stadium. So Jacobs Field is built. Art loses a tenant. That's a lot of money. Then they built the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is a fantastic building. If you've never been there before, great building if you love music. Then they built the Science Center, and they built a basketball arena for the Cavaliers. And Art's like, where's my money? Where's my building? He was looking for just a renovation, and the fans wouldn't give it to him. And so he had issues, and when he signed Andre Rison, he had to go borrow $5 million.
Imagine that.
Right. And the NFL owners got to go borrow $5 million to pay for a dude. That's where Art was with the money. And eventually, I was there for the last years. They had ended up moving. But I'd always thought, when I talked to Jerry about this, and Jerry just kind of said he had nothing but respect for Art. I think it's just because Art's passed away, he doesn't want to say anything. But I always believe had Art Modell embraced what Jerry was doing, the team would still be there. And I look at a guy like Mark Davis, who ended up having to leave Oakland but gets a stadium built in Las Vegas, and he's now making good money. I just think, man, if Art had done that, how things would have changed.
You can go to Stan Kroenke. I mean, Jerry helped Stan Kroenke get that stadium.
Yeah.
And he's rich and everything else, but that's part of it, right? Tell Laura Miller the same thing, okay? Let's bring it back home. Because if Laura Miller would have listened and not tried to fight Jerry,
it's okay.
AT&T Stadium would be downtown Dallas. And this whole dynamic.
I like where it is.
I like where it is, but I think that was a huge setback for Dallas because she's worried about Jerry making money. Get in the cab with Jerry.
Because
Art should have gotten in the cab with Jerry, made that money with Jerry.
Yeah, they're going to make their money, but you can make some too.
Yeah, you're not going to stop Jerry from making money. Arlington Irving was always there.
So Bob Kraft's not in. Stacey James, and the communications director up there, feels like nobody's done more for the league, money-wise and labor-wise.
Money-wise.
Read it. It was just very interesting. So anyway, and I'd wondered if you had died in that, but I guess I'm assuming he'll get in.
Well, they divide it. He's not up against coaches anymore, which is a big thing. I mean, it was contributors other than players were all in the same category. So now he doesn't have to go up against Mike Shanahan. Didn't have to go up against Mike Holmgren, I guess would be the next two coaches maybe to get in before Belichick. If he doesn't take a job next year, he can get in next year, Bill Belichick. So yeah, it'll be easier, and eventually, I think he probably belongs.
You know what's funny? Because I'm glad you bring that point up. Because Bill Belichick could get in next year because they've changed the rule. You don't have to have a waiting period for coaches and contributors. Might he be the first person who got in the Hall of Fame and then went back to coaching?
Yes,
that would be interesting.
Yes, you'll pull a Tony La Russa all day long.
Nobody sat out 5 years, got in the Hall of Fame, and then came back.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
why wouldn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, it's they're like coaches are like boxers, man. They can't get out their system.
No,
they can't go.
That's why most of them get divorced when they retire.
There's a reason he's on TV as much as possible.
Yeah,
this man who disdained every interaction with the media for 50 years,
praising CD and Dak. Then he and Mike Lombardi were praising
the Cowboys front office.
The Cowboys front office.
How they draft. I said, you ain't slick, man. You trying to.
And then in the piece,
trying to get your job, trying to get a new job.
So the piece talked about how so Kraft had this issue with Jerry, then had the issue with Belichick, and I can't remember who wrote it earlier in the offseason that it would make Bill happy to go work for Jerry and stick it to Kraft. So this is going to be a fun storyline unless Mike McCarthy signs a contract.
You see, Mike McCarthy don't like this right now.
Mike McCarthy, third winningest active coach in the league, 18th on wins all time. Mike McCarthy is a dang good football coach, but as long as Bill Belichick is out there and there's no contract signed, we have to talk about it.
Well, I mean, I remember when they hired Mike McCarthy as the 9th head coach in Cowboys history, Jerry and Stephen were very public about the fact that they felt he was inheriting a team in its Super Bowl window still, and that's what he was being brought in for, because of his ability with quarterbacks and his proven ability to win a Super Bowl and get in the playoffs every year. And he's achieved most of that. But he hasn't won in the postseason. He's 1-3, and the only team they beat, was Tom Brady. But only Tom Brady thought they might win that game. The Bucs were like 8-9 that year, right? They're a losing team. They haven't beaten a winning team in the playoffs.
They beat Seattle. Didn't they beat Seattle a couple years ago?
Not with McCarthy.
Oh, that was Jason Garrett. So it's funny. I'm glad you brought he hasn't won in the playoffs, and because he was brought here to be better than Jason Garrett. He wasn't brought here just.
Well, he has been better than Jason Garrett,
but he was brought here to win. And that means bring them back to Super Bowl glory.
It's taking a little bit longer, but we'll see.
The problem is you can't do what they've done their last 2 home postseasons, and you go in and you've created a home field advantage, and you go into these games and you never even lead in the game.
Right.
I mean,
getting off the best
against the Packers, the quarterback who's never played in the postseason, youngest team in the postseason, you're undefeated at home by a historic margin, and you're down 27-0.
And they score 48 points on you, get punched in the mouth. Yeah, it was bad. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. So we know what it is. He knows what it is. That's why he doesn't have a contract extension right now. But
Jerry said it several times, right? In the training camp, people ask me, and every time the term Green Bay comes out of his mouth just automatically.
Well, ultimately, they have to figure out, it's not a talent thing. It's a mental thing about them in the playoffs. And until you overcome it, you haven't overcome it.
What part do we put at management? Because we've seen Mike hasn't been able to get it done. Jason hasn't been able to get it done. Parcells hadn't done anything.
I don't really put that on management. Players got to play, man. Listen. And when you come out there and then you look at the playoffs, name me the games where their best players, Dak, CD, Micah, played their butts off, and the answer would be none.
Right. See, I agree. I mean, Jerry gets a lot of blame, and he should, for running this franchise and creating a circus and doing whatever else, and they're not losing. The fact that they haven't won in 28, 29 years, that's on Jerry. 12-5, 12-5, and 12-5. Especially last year. You have your best chance to get to the NFC Championship game.
It's easy.
You got this home 16-game home winning streak.
Don't play 49ers to the championship.
You're a second seed. You're playing a 7th seed. You're healthy. What is front office supposed to do at that point? There's nothing front office could have done to help you get over the hump in Green Bay. At some point,
you got
with all due respect to Tony Romo, you can't drop a snap. Players have to realize their greatness and step into that moment, like the '92 Cowboys did a year before people thought they were ready to win. If this is your destiny, you have to realize your destiny. That's on the players. It's on the field.
The problem for them is they could go 17-0 in the regular season, and everybody goes, "So what?
Yeah,
now what? Now what?
You got to do it. You got to step into your destiny at some point.
If you're going to do it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it.
And it is at some point on the players to perform their best in the biggest games, and this group hasn't done that.
That's what the great ones do, because the legacies are all about the playoffs. Your legacy is all about what you do in the postseason. Troy was good for 5 years of his 10, 11-year career, but in the postseason, untouchable.
Yeah.
untouchable. You couldn't do nothing with him.
He didn't throw interceptions, and he won every game.
You couldn't do nothing with him in the postseason.
And you couldn't do nothing with Charles Haley. You could do nothing with. I mean, they all were great, though.
But they all Hall of Famers.
But what I'm saying is they all were great. And yes, Troy was perfect. He was great. But
plenty of these guys could be Hall of Famers too if they perform in the postseason.
But again, it's more than just the quarterback.
Yeah.
You need everybody. CD was not good against Green Bay from the jump.
That's what I'm talking about. Your best players.
Well, my point is, all we talk about is Dak. CD was not.
That's why he makes $60 million.
And why CD makes 34.
Right.
Half. That's why we talk about the
Number 2 for the receiver, though. Okay, come on now. As a receiver, you still need your players. Once the game kicks off, it don't matter what you make.
Right, but you can't. Play. But like Dak comes out after that game and says he indicates he was nervous early on.
Quarterback set the tone.
You can't do that.
And the year before that, when they lost to the 49ers, McCarthy said something about he didn't feel good going into the game.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. That still frustrates me that Mike McCarthy would. And this was when the clock ran out on Dak. He comes to us and tells us he sensed in the locker room they weren't ready to play.
Okay, now
if you don't feel your team is ready to play before the game, you should be shaking the damn rafters in there to wake the hell up.
See, you say that, but that's what I mean when I say it's up to the players. The players got to do what they got to do.
But as a coach,
you can't shake me up if I'm the
well. But you got to try to address it. You just can't let them walk out there not ready to play. If you sense it. If you sense
not
it,
when the 49ers are walking out with their giant boom box.
If you sense it like your child, if you sense your child is not prepared, you got to do something to wake them up. You have to.
Caffeine.
Well, he's responsible for preparing them to perform at their best, to be comfortable in what they're being asked to do, to have the right approach on both sides of the ball against that particular opponent.
You know, when you say
he's also responsible for their mindset too.
Yeah, but that mindset.
That's all part of it.
But when you get there and you walk past, hey, Ed, you ready? And you go back to life, you say, I can't believe that. I thought he was ready. I looked at him and said, he ain't ready, dog.
So slap him.
Yeah, Warren Washington did that.
Beat him.
Derek Holland. He worked out all right.
Beat him.
We're talking to playoffs or 1-0.
Slap him.
We're talking about what was.
Give me some of that smelling salt. Break that smelling salt.
That ammonia pouch?
Yeah, get some of that ammonia. Do something. I'm just not going to let you walk out there. That's all my point is. I don't know what, but I'm not going to just let you walk out there.
Derek James over here in the corner, cut man, training the cut man, gonna get him out there ready to go next time. Yeah. See, this is fun. See what Ed has brought a spark up in here, boy. Look at this. This is fun. This is fun. We got to take a break. Got to make our picks. This is it's Thursday. I have to remember Thursday, the last meeting.
And we need to address the injury report. Just 1 second.
When we come back.
Yeah.
When we come back, Clarence Hill will give us the injury report. Cowboys practice report is out. Clarence Hill, Ed Werder, Jean-Jacques Taylor. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1, any broadcast without the express edition of cook-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12, no crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane's sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Drawback finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Bateman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash right here on DallasCowboys.com radio or just DallasCowboys.com. Is that better for you, Clarence?
I just asked the question in the break, and it wasn't even. I was in the break.
Hey man, it's okay. I'm just trying to make you happy.
I just know when I go to radio, I usually used to have to turn a dial or something. I don't know if people in the car turn the dials to the radio. I mean, are they turning dials to get the podcast on the radio?
I ain't turned it down in 10 minutes, man.
Okay, I'm just saying, are they turning dials? Or are you pushing buttons? I mean, can you push a button in your car and get this? On your car radio.
People are going to be trying to do that right now if you don't get to this injury report soon.
He can't pull it up on his.
Oh, I got it.
I got it on my phone.
I got it. Cowboys practice report today. The only person that did not practice, other than John Stevens, who hadn't practiced the last couple of weeks with the injury, was certainly Jake Ferguson. Although, from all indications, he's efforting to play. He was out there with a knee brace, going through rehab, and Mike McCarthy intimated that he may do something late in practice today. I don't think he did.
After we left is what he said.
Yeah, but according to official practice report, he did nothing. We don't want to get in trouble like they are in San Francisco. Or they don't want to get in trouble. But it looks like he's efforting to play. The good news is the Cowboys really dodged the bullet. But Marshawn Nealon, a rookie who had actually a pretty good rookie first game as a pass rusher, did practice today on a limited basis. He has a calf injury. And I talked to Marshawn, and he said the good news about it is that it was more of a high than a low, because the low is down there by the Achilles, and that's where you can get in trouble. It was more of a high calf strain. He did do some team stuff, did some special team stuff today, and he really felt good about his first game as a pro. He had a few pressures and showed something. When the Cowboys led the league in pressures against Deshaun Watson, and certainly Derek Carr is a different animal, but I don't think he's as elusive as Watson. He's bigger. But he's not as elusive as Watson, so they should have opportunities to get him on the ground. Interesting thing about the Saints practice report is that Marshawn Lattimore, their top cornerback, has not practiced the past 2 games. 2 days, with a hip and hamstring injury. So that's something to monitor, because he's really good, and
he's missed 17 of his last 35 games.
Yeah, he's always hurt.
He's always hurt, but when he's on the field, he's special. I'm saying when he's not on the field, you really have a chance to make plays. But I also talked to CD, and as good as he is, he does not play the slot. And he doesn't travel to the slot. So, CD, again, most of his plays last week were in the slot. He makes his hay in the slot. So Dak and CD talked about them being better in Game 2 than they were in Game 1. Certainly, they had
more time on task.
More time on task. CD is getting his pads, feeling his pads, Not
like we all said was going to happen.
Yeah, it was a little rust. But he got to say the right thing before the game. I'm fine. There's no rust. I can just like riding the bike. But, it's different with your pads on. He's in his first game with his pads on, so he feels he's ready to take another step.
He wasn't bad in the first game.
No. But a couple of those, you talked about the third down plays, playing through contact, catching a couple of slants that they didn't convert late in game. Maybe that was because of some of the rust. Dak talked about, maybe he threw it too early, or maybe CD didn't run his route right. Those are things that they had to work on that didn't have that time on task on.
Also, the Saints rookie tackle, Tylese Fuaga, he did not practice today. He was limited yesterday, but did not practice today with a back.
And he had a pretty good first game.
Yes. Yeah. So there's something else to look out for right there, as he will probably see a lot of number 11 Saints coming in here, and this is going to be it's a 1-0 team, gets another 1-0 team. Derek Carr in the past, Ed, has been known to give up the ball. So Mike Zimmer, game 1 against Deshaun Watson. Clarence, you talked about it already. Watson a little more elusive. Derek Carr, not so much here. To me, this seems like if you're Mike Zimmer, how do you figure out a way to force Derek Carr to make some turnovers?
Well, Derek Carr comes into this game off his debut in this new offense that we talked about earlier, And having played Carolina, he was the least pressured starting quarterback in the league last week. And so he delivered a clean performance because he wasn't pressured. While he comes up here against the Cowboys on the road, 100,000 people, against the Cowboys defense that leads the NFL in pressures, sacks, and nobody has more interceptions. I think it's just a natural thing that's going to happen, that they're going to create a lot of pressure on Derek Carr.
And Carr last week, just by the way.
19 to 23?
Yeah, 23 pass attempts. Meanwhile, they ran the ball 37 times.
And that's it. Cowboys have to stop the run. And we talked about that from going back to Green Bay. We talked about that incessantly all offseason. Carr was good because they had a great running game. They ran for 180 yards. He wasn't asked to make a lot of plays. Wouldn't have to be pressured when you're going against Carolina, when you can run at will. So this Cowboys team with these new guys up front, we talk about this funky offense and the things that they do, like they have given the Cowboys trouble with their running game and things like that. They have to stop the run. You stop the run, as they say, earn the right to pressure Carr.
Linville Joseph, Jordan Phillips, Mozzie Smith. That's what they're there for.
All right, gentlemen, let's get some predictions here. All right, Ed, we're gonna let you go first here.
All right, the Cowboys have averaged almost 35 points per game with Dak Prescott
stats.
as the starting quarterback since 2022. That's the best number in football. His 14-1 record in the regular season, in that circumstance, the best in football. His completion percentage, 71%, the best in football.
But he can't play.
His quarterback rating, 108.8, is second.
But he ain't no good.
I think they're going to score enough to beat the Saints, even though the Saints play great defense. The Saints need this to be a certain kind of game, right? They need it to be. They need to hold the Cowboys under 20. I don't see that happening.
All right, so you got the Cowboys winning.
28-17.
28-17.
You taking notes over there?
Yeah.
Is these receipts?
Yes, we will do that.
Okay, I just want to make sure that depends on how I play things.
If you're going to be held accountable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're getting fined or anything, but yeah. Clarence, what you got?
Cowboys 30-24, and I predict a 66-yard field goal before the half.
67. Step out there.
I got a big time field goal because the Cowboys.
Dude, he banged that thing.
Cowboys are antsy.
They want to
let him kick one. And we were talking to Mike today about, because it's gonna be a beautiful day in Texas. Beautiful afternoon.
Now roof gonna be closed.
Roof gonna be closed. They don't want no wind, and it's not about. It's really more about the quarterback. Because Mike McCarthy said, it's more about the quarterback than the kicker.
Plus the crowd noise.
Yeah, plus the crowd and the crowd. It's
gonna be 98 degrees.
It's gonna be hot. So you don't want the air conditioning, but the roof will be closed. But indoors in a dome, we talked about Zeke and Dak. Yeah, in a dome. Yeah, let him boom it. And so he will get an opportunity to kick one.
All right, and very impressive was the one he hit.
Man, that was good from 72.
Still was at the top of the uprights when
Mike McCarthy talked, because you looked at that thing was good from 72. The thing that he scared him, because you're an Alabama fan, you remember kick six. You got those offensive line, and actually he brought up Nathan Vasher did it against them with the Bears in Green Bay. When they put the returner back, hook 'em horns, Nathan Vasher, well back in the day. But when you put the returner back there on those long field goals, you got all those offensive linemen, they can't tackle.
No,
and so you got kickers, you got a punter, a bunch of tight ends, and offensive linemen, and a quarterback. Oh, well, no, it's the punter's holder. Excuse me, it ain't Romo. So ain't nobody gonna tackle.
Nope.
Okay.
So that's what he was afraid of.
All right, JJT, what you got?
I still got questions about the offense. They didn't look that great to me. I realize they're trying to manage the game some. So I got Dallas 21-16.
21-16. All right, gentlemen. Ed, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll come back next week.
Hey.
I'll try.
Hey.
I had to save mine tomorrow for the Players Lounge podcast.
This some poppycock right here. That's all
But
where your pick at?
Okay, first off, it'll be in the morning news already because I had to make the pick. I went with Dallas. I got him covering the spread. Okay.
And spread is 6. Over and under is 36, I think. 47.
So I am with Ed. I'm going to go high on my number tomorrow.
I can't believe you got the Cowboys scoring 20 points at home. They gonna get a special team. They're gonna
Bland ain't playing to pick one back and run one back.
you got Trevon Diggs is the chopped liver, huh?
Trevon Diggs don't score. He's pick him off, but he don't take it back.
You don't remember him scoring?
One touchdown. Deron Bland do it all the time. Trevon just did here and there.
But he gonna set the offense.
Can I pick my game?
5 field goals.
Can I pick my game?
5 field goals. They gonna score more than 20 points.
Okay, man. I said 21.
Wow.
To be continued on
Call
the
security.
next meeting. All right, yeah, we'll do it next week if you show up, Jacques. All right, Clarence Hill, Ed Werder, Jacques Taylor, Newy Scruggs, Chris Beam, and everybody here. Thank you much.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!